Good morning, Councilman.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good here. How about yourself?
Good. No complaints. It's supposed to finally be a warm day out.
I'm so excited.
We need it.
A nice long walk this afternoon, I think, is in order.
Is it supposed to get, let me see, is it supposed to get cold later this week though?
Yeah, back down on the weekend. I think it starts on Friday, starting to get cooler, but
Oh, yeah.
all the
I
way
see.
through Thursday, it's going to be warm, which is great.
Yeah, looks like it's in the 60s through then.
Yep, I'm thrilled.
I'll take it. What we've been through, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, Maurice. How are you doing?
Okay, I'm just here to start things, and Kyle should be logging on soon. He's going to run the meeting for me today. I have a doctor's appointment, so
Right. You only have good words coming.
yeah, well, it's about this rotator cuff surgery.
Oh, I know. Been there with two boys.
Yeah, it's a long, slow recovery.
Yep. Anything exciting going on otherwise?
Nope.
Uh-oh, fine.
So Carol, who's going to read today?
How about you, Tim?
It could be a possibility.
Uh-oh, he'll have two jobs.
Oh, man.
And which glasses I have to have on to read.
Yeah, so far we have nobody else signed in, so.
This is true. So true, so true.
Yes.
Okay, I could probably read him. Any postponements?
I'm sorry?
Any postponements?
I don't know. I don't have any of that info.
Not that I've heard of, unless something came in over the weekend. I'm not aware of any.
I'm missing, I got a printer now, so I'm printing things out, but I'm seeing that I'm missing a page of the agenda.
Well, I didn't print out all 33 pages of the traffic. But I printed out the first 7 and I looked over the rest. I
I'm
haven't got that.
I'm just
Well-
talking about today's agenda. I've seen it. You're missing
Most of
it.
the other pages on the traffic study were just details of how they did the traffic counts. The majority of the pertinent information is really the parts that you read, the first few summary pages.
Yeah, good. That's what I figured.
I mean, it's just there for documentation if you wanted to drill down and see exactly how they did the counts and what the actual numbers were.
Oh, okay, good. All right, I found it.
The other thing was that the traffic study was done in the winter, February. The traffic in the summer is going to be totally different because there's so much going on at Lincoln Park. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it needs a lot more scrutiny, I mean, it needs a lot more analysis.
Yes,
But in the end, it's probably a policy issue of, do you count on-street parking as part of the way to fulfill the requirement? We've done it before, but we've not done it in that kind of a mass, I don't think.
Okay, there's Kyle.
good morning, Kyle.
Good morning.
Okay, we are, let's see, are you a co-host? I might make you the host, Kyle.
Yeah, I can't share yet.
Make him the chief cook and bottle washer.
Hopefully that doesn't change. Okay, it's still recording and it's still live. So can you share now?
No.
You can't? I guess I have to make you the presenter too.
There we go.
Excellent. And it still looks like it's recording. And I still see a stream on YouTube.
I see Kelly's in with us now.
We were just discussing the parking study for Kenilworth, Kyle.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Yeah, Matt sent it to me. See if I can make this full screen.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Liz.
Good morning, Liz.
Morning.
Does that look all
All
right?
right. Yeah, can you get rid of that box on the side? You click that X, does it go away?
No. How do you do this?
Oh, the other, yeah, right there.
Yeah, this is Laura. Just wanted to let you know I'm here.
Oh, you know what, Kyle? Is that Chrome?
Yeah.
Hit F11.
F11.
Yeah.
I'm on a Mac.
Oh, well, then I don't know what it is. But that allows the browser to go full screen. You can also do it in the
How about that?
okay, right there.
Okay.
Although there still should be a way to get rid of that on the side. You click the button that's down here on the bottom that's
Yeah, I don't have
that has
anything.
left to right.
I don't have anything left to. It's weird, isn't it?
If you've got one button at the bottom that's blue and the other one that's white, does that mean only one of them is activated?
I can only do one at a time.
Oh. And the browser didn't really go to full screen mode either. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Usually there's a way to make the sides go away. It's 9:30. I'll let you guys start. Okay,
Download it. And I can... Jeez.
Liz, are you with me?
Pardon me?
Okay, now I can say, I'm gonna call the Board of Zoning Appeals to order on this date. Please do a roll call.
Mr. Donovan? Mr. Donovan?
Here,
Okay.
Ms. Britt?
I'm echoing.
Ms. Vaith?
No, she will not be here today.
Oh, that's right. Ms. Barnes? Is Ms. Barnes present? Doesn't look like it. And Ms. Johnson?
Yes, I am.
We have a quorum, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Do we have any withdrawals or postponements?
Can you see the screen, Kyle? I can't see the screen. I don't believe we did this morning, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Please, everyone, mute your microphone if you're not speaking. Well, of course, nobody's speaking right now, but
You are.
except me.
Okay, we're ready to roll.
Kyle, I don't see the screen yet. I don't know if you're working on that. Okay, there we go.
It's coming.
Thank you. So, Madam Chair, we just have 3 members this morning.
And it has to be unanimous unless we choose to postpone till we have more members.
Correct, Madam Chair.
Okay, read the preamble.
Madam Chair, my name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble this morning. In compliance with notification requirements of Ohio's open meeting law under COVID-19 emergency declaration, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking on that chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Next slide.
Hello?
Next slide, please.
Okay.
All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. We have also received emails from those who have provided written comment on a particular matter. And Madam Chair, as a reminder to everyone on this meeting, please mute your microphone if you are not speaking.
Okay, Kyle, one more slide. We've had the roll call, calling the board to order.
Next slide.
There are no postponements or withdrawals. Is that correct, Mrs. Kukla?
That's correct, Madam Chair.
Okay, move right along.
And Madam Chair, if we could remind everybody at this time that there are only 3 members present. You need a unanimous vote for the motion given at the time to pass. If you would like to, you could postpone this case until we have a full complement of board members.
Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome.
I thought I said it once, but that's okay.
Just wanted to say it again for anybody that's joining us late.
Okay. Tim, you want to read this? Is that my understanding?
All right. I should warn you that right now I've double checked in, so I have an echo. I'm not sure if I leave to try to fix it, that I'll be able to wander back. So I'm going to try to live with it. So,
I'm not hearing an echo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't hear it from you. So you might be hearing your own echo, which is probably just as.
is everybody else hearing the same echo?
No.
No.
All right.
Little
So
Sir
I'll just-
Echo. Read.
I'll try to live with it. Okay. We have Councilman Casey in the room,
Yes.
so we'll start off with his calendar first. Calendar number -12-021 at 12121 Belden Avenue. B.R. Knez owner proposes to erect a single-family home with window wells and a 31-foot by 28-foot, 1-story frame, gable detached, 3-bay garage. The owner appeals for relief from a strict application of the following section of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as shown in the agenda and the public record.
Thank you very much.
Will everyone for this case kindly raise your right hand? We're going to make a statement. Your response should be, I do, with your name. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
I do.
I do, Melissa Miller.
We need
I
names.
do.
Michael David.
I
Anyone
do.
else?
I do, Elaine Echols.
I do, Councilman Casey.
Anyone else? City planning in there? Second, Kyle?
I do.
Okay,
All right, that's it for history, or on the history.
okay, on to history.
Did you get I do, Elaine Echols?
Oh, no. Okay, we got you, Elaine.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Liz, history of the property.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There has been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I found that in 1926, a permit was issued to erect a garage. In 1945, a permit was issued again to erect a garage. In 1975, a permit was issued to erect a chain link fence. There are no variances on file for this address, and in the more recent history, 2012, we found that a permit was issued to demolish a 1.5-story single-family dwelling unit. And that is all that I have that's relevant.
Thank you very much. Who's the representative of B.R. Knez?
Michael David.
Okay, Michael. I wrote your last name first. That's exactly.
Madam Chair, do you want the legal standard?
Oh, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting area variances from the accessory building gross floor area and side yard encroachment requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I overlooked you already this morning. Okay, Michael David, tell us exactly what you folks would like to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I appreciate your time. We're here today. We plan to erect a single-family home with a detached 3-bay garage in the back. These, and as well some side bays, window wells on the basement floor of the home, which the owner would like to finish. So both of these requests come at the bequest of the purchaser. The garage, I believe, will be 68 feet larger than is allowed by the current zoning code. So we are asking for a variance for that, as well as the 2 window wells for the finished basement.
Can I ask why on both those, the extra large garage and the window wells, are they going to have another person living down in the basement?
I don't know if he's going to have someone living in the basement or not. For the garage, I know he wanted a little bit more space to be able to accommodate larger vehicles like a truck or an SUV that the garage currently wasn't able to hold. So that's why we needed some extra space. I think for the basement, because it's going to be a finished basement, he wanted to have the ability, there's going to be a bedroom down there. So the ability for egress in the event of some kind of emergency.
Kyle, do we have any elevations of what they're planning on building? Thank you, Kyle.
So there you'll see the 2 window wells on the side of the property.
So how far away from the property next door will those window wells be?
I believe 3 feet, maybe. Let me pull up.
I need to make this bigger. I can't see it. Hold on, just a minute. Boy, it looks like it goes beyond the lot line.
This is Kyle Reese from City Planning. I can read it. It's 6 feet from the house, the new proposed house to the property line, and then another 7 feet 3 inches from the property line to the existing house. And those window wells look like they're approximately 2 feet from the property line.
You have better eyes than I have. Okay, now let's hear from Elaine first and then Melissa. Elaine? Comments?
Oh, sorry. I had to unmute. And I am speaking for Bobby Sullen, and let me just pull up exactly what he said.
And who is he?
He is the property owner right next door.
Okay.
And yeah, putting the roof line that close, because there's already an issue with the snow actually coming down off of both of their roofs onto his property, clearing the garage, clearing the driveway, and actually pulling up in there is already a major issue. So something that close would, in effect, just dump everything from the roof right onto his property. And there's just like no clearance based on what he was looking at. It looked like it just butted literally, as you originally said, right up on the property line. So that's really his grievance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Michael, David?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Kyle said the plan shows that there's 6 feet between the property line and the house next door, or did I misunderstand that?
No, correct.
All right, 6 feet, and then there's the 7 feet from the neighbor's property line. So that's 13 feet of snow. But
Yeah, I'm a little confused at what the property owner's grievance is. It seems to be relating to
There's
something
not, no, on the plans, there's not 13 feet between the two properties. So unless you can enlarge that and see and make sure that that is maintained, that's not what the property owner is seeing. And are these plans final?
Yes, these are the plans as long as the board is willing to grant the variances today, would be submitted for permits.
okay, I see the 7'3". I think that's what it says. Then I see 6 foot. I think it's 6 foot. Kyle, one more time, baby.
So
The proposed house and its property line are, that house, excluding the window wells, is 6 foot at least. Is that my understanding?
that's what these plans are showing, correct?
Okay, and then 7'3". So that's 13.3 away from each other.
Bobby, did you hear that?
Okay.
Oh, it's the rear. He's looking at, I'm sorry, the owner of the property next door is looking at the rear. Homeden. What's the distance from the house on Homeden?
Oh, I don't have that on here.
Homeden's not in Ward 16. Homeden's in another ward. That's in Ward 14.
There is a case on I'm sorry, this is Kyle Reese. There is another case on Scranton with a garage.
Yes, Miss Eccles, this is Liz Kukla. You actually might be here for a different case. I believe you're probably here for Scranton and not Belden.
Correct. I apologize.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'd like to hear
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to mute myself.
Melissa, are you here for this case?
I am. Thank you, Ms. Johnson. Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation supports the variance in this case. We're very excited that Knez has come into our neighborhood and is about to build the first home in our neighborhood. This area north of Lorraine by 117th Street is perfect for these new homes. The Knez came out to block club meetings. They met with the neighbors of these homes. They met with the neighbors around the area who were supportive of the project. So we definitely support the variance.
Great. Okay, and I'd like to hear from, I'm hearing my voice coming back. Kyle, City of Cleveland Planning.
Kyle Reese, City Planning. These plans were reviewed by the Housing Design Review Subcommittee. They were approved. We think this is a great project. I did want to note though that the variance request for the garage was for 680 square feet.
Yeah.
The code actually permits 800 square feet of garage on any lot in a 2-family district. So they actually don't need that first. Oh, I'm sorry. No, they are over by 68 feet. That's correct. Never mind. Yes, they do need that. Yeah, we HDRS review and approve this.
Council, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board. This is an exciting project for Ward 16. This will be the first new house that'll be built in the ward in probably around 20 years or so. And this is the first of 5, hopefully, new homes that'll be going up. So for 68 feet, we'll take it. And I'm in 100% support of issuing the variance. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, board? We're getting a lot of, I'm hearing everybody.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
based on the testimony given, I would move that we would grant the variances for calendar 21-021.
A second.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Britt,
Yes.
Mr. Donovan,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
yes.
Calendar 21-21 is granted. It'll be ratified next week and we will send you a letter.
Thank you very much, everyone. Good to see everyone.
Okay, Councilman, don't go anywhere. I'll read the next case.
Okay,
Calendar 21-02. Is that a 3 or 5?
3.
Whatever it is. 4475 West 130th Street. Craig Wilson, owner, proposes to construct a 6-foot tall fence in the actual front yard in a C3 limited local retail business. The appeals for relief from the strict application from the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as listed in the public record and the agenda.
Thank you. Let's start with that. It's calendar 21-02.
Everyone for the case, kindly raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement looking for the response of I do with your name. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Craig Wilson.
I do, Councilman Casey.
I do, Melissa Miller.
Anyone else? Hearing none, it's on to history.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. I didn't find any records on this property in the records room or in the Acela, and there are no variances on file for this address. That's all that I have. Thank you.
Legal, please, this way.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the best requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you. Okay. I need to see that picture again. Whoa. Wow. Okay, Mr. Wilson, tell us what you'd like to do.
Oh, yeah, so basically I'm trying to construct a 6-foot fence, like all the other businesses in the area, just because, I mean, when I was clearing out that back wooded lot, there was a lot of, syringes and smashed liquor bottles, and there was a mattress back in the woods. And they were having fires and things back there. On the edge of Lena, you can see they can just walk straight through. And they were riding 4-wheelers from 130th onto Lena Avenue, just like a cut through. And I wanted to stop that. So that's basically why I'm trying to get the fence built. I have a temporary one thrown up there that I actually called the city hall and spoke with Irene Pavlek, and permits she sent me were for residential fence, in which I was unaware of. So I filled that out and submitted it, and then she emailed me back and said, "Oh, I was unaware that this is a commercial property." So then I filled out those permits and sent them in, and then I got something back that said that the fence in the front yard cannot be taller than 4 feet. However, all the other fences on 130th are like 8 foot tall with barbed wire or razor wire, and I'm basically just asking for a variance to make it a 6 foot tall fence.
What's the business?
I'm sorry.
What is your business?
I'm getting a lot of. Hold on.
Yeah, Madam Chair, you're breaking up. Craig, she asked, what is your business here on this property?
So it was. I wanted it to be a retail building where I would sell basically construction supplies like a Decocrete or something like that, for decorative concrete and basically rebar, wire mesh, impregnated fibers, shovels, rakes, things you would need for concrete supplies.
So are you gonna have a parking table?
Yeah, that would be in the future.
Well, you can't have people driving on the lawn.
Right. Well, currently when you guys redid the sidewalks, I actually worked for the company that did it for the city, Perk. I'm a local 860 union member out of Cleveland, but see, this is kind of an example of the fence I wanted to make. Like something with curb appeal, not something like ugly monstrosity, but basically when they redid that sidewalk, they removed the curb cut and just made it a straight sidewalk. And I requested to have the curb cut put back, and they said first a structure needs to be on the property, but I can't build a structure without access to the property. So I was speaking with Rich Warnberg, I think Building and Housing, and he said that possibly a fence would be considered a structure. I'm not too sure about this.
I'm not. Is Kyle?
Sorry, did you say something, Carol?
Yes, Kyle. Kyle, is Mr. Riccardi with us?
I can't understand. Sorry, I can't hear you.
There's Mr. Riccardi with us, and
Yes.
I did just see he sent a note in the chat.
From Rick Riccardi, the city zoning administrator, mentioned in the chat that it should be noted that there is a zoning denial for a second permit for a storage building, is what he put in the chat.
Well, all right.
So we're just here. It seems like the appellant is just trying to enclose the property he has right now so that people can't cut through and leave debris and that kind of stuff. So is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the councilman say?
Craig?
Can we let our CDC speak first?
Okay.
Sure.
Melissa?
Thank you, Chair, to the board. Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation is not in favor of this variance. The zoning in this area actually did change and became effective July 6, 2016. We changed the zoning to limited local retail in this area. We did that for several reasons. We really wanted, to see some of what has been going on West 130th change. So this zoning took the zoning down to where there would be some auto uses available, but not other auto uses. Everything that is currently there was there previous to the zoning change, and the parcels directly across the street are not in the same zoning. The Dennison Auto building, the West End Lumber building, that remained general retailer. I don't know if it's general or semi-industrial, but that stayed because those businesses go all the way back to the railroad tracks, and they've been there for a long time. Also, the zoning on the other side, I saw Broken Wheel was included as a picture. That zoning is not has not changed. The zoning really did change just between the bridges, and we did this to eliminate some of those uses in a residential district that didn't really want, that the residents didn't feel were beneficial to the immediate community. With that being said, we've tried to reach out to this owner to no avail. We sent a letter to him as soon as this went up, asking him for voluntary compliance in taking the letter down. We sent that letter to the tax mailing address that is listed on the property with the county. He called us once. Mr. Jordan from our office called him 2 times after that, and also stopped by the property when he saw them out there, and Mr. Wilson would not speak with Mr. Jordan to let us know what was going on or what his plans are. Therefore, the letter just said contact Building and Housing to bring, to apply for the appropriate permits to move this forward. I think, that is it, that we feel that this property should not have this type of fencing. It is directly next to a residential property, and it is the first property when you start to move into the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Council?
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman and members of the board. I have never had a conversation with Mr. Wilson until last Thursday when I received an email from him. I can tell you that for the last couple of months that there has been a gravel driveway, a big dump truck, and some sort of shipping container that has just been sitting on this property, enclosed with this illegal fence. I don't know how they're getting onto the property without going over the newly installed curbs that are on 130th. I have no idea what the guy has intentions to do on the property, and I would not be in support of his request for the variance.
Thank you. Board, question?
I'd just like to point out that I have been trying to meet Councilman Brian Casey at the Rockport Library on West 140th. It says on his website that he would be there on Thursdays. When I show up, he wasn't there, and they stated that it was probably due to COVID, he couldn't make it. In addition, I did not like the Tom Jordan coming to my personal property and hand-delivering a letter. There was no postage stamp, and I refused to open it. I threw it away. I didn't even know the gentleman, so, and in addition, he actually came onto my property and threatened me. It was just very unprofessional. It didn't even seem real, actually. There was no kind of documentation or anything.
Madam Chair?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Madam Chair, I was gonna say that I'm never the one to really force a postponement here, but I feel like this isn't ready for prime time.
It seems to me that we have a case where the tail's wagging the dog. We are asked to make a decision on a variance without having the future uses of the property clearly spelled out. It seems that the appellant would be well served by asking to withdraw his request so that he could have the necessary meetings and hopefully come up with a plan that addresses its future.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. So yeah, that's basically another thing. I didn't know how to go about any of this. There's no like real way to figure out how to go through all this. I know you guys do this every day, but I'm 29 years old. I'm trying to figure this out. And when I call in, the city hall is only open 2 days a week, or 3 days, and I have to stop at the barrier that the security guard will not let me get past. I have tried submitting things. It is very difficult, and that's why we're here now. You know, and honestly, if that's not what's wanted on this property, I don't know what you would want to put on this property. I spoke with the last person I actually purchased it from, and they said it is almost impossible to put something on this property because it gets voted down every time. You know, it would really be a shame to just have this be a nothing property here.
Well, Mr. Wilson, Melissa is on the call here. I think probably your first step is to try to meet with the CDC and they can help you figure out what's the proper use for, you know, we're not here for a use variance today, but like what the proper use for this place could be. And then maybe you can go from there. But I echo Mr. Donovan's comments that I don't think you're ready today.
Thank you, and thank you so much, Kelly Britt.
Melissa Miller, Bel Air Puritas Development Corporation. I mean, in the meantime, there are still several outstanding violations on this property. The fence is an outstanding violation. The gravel drive is an outstanding violation. The commercial vehicle is a violation, and the storage container is a violation. So how are we going to correct these violations?
I think that's something that you all are gonna have to talk about later offline. We don't deal with those here right now, but definitely. But Mr. Wilson, you need to, you know, address your violations and talk with the CDC and the councilman about addressing them.
We are here to talk about the fence, and the fence, you know, is currently in violation, and we would like to see that fence removed.
I think what everybody is suggesting is that we will deal with this. That Mr. Wilson met with you face to face, and it needs to be next. Is that the thing you agree to?
Okay, I need everyone who's not talking to mute because we can't hear the chairwoman.
Oh.
So the appellant, it's your call here. Do you want to withdraw or do you want us to?
Yeah, I'll withdraw and I will try and speak with Melissa and the Councilman Casey once more and maybe have another try at this. I'm sorry for wasting all your time. I know what you do is very important, so I hope you have a great rest of your day. That's all I have to say.
Okay. With other case, without
objection.
Without objection.
Okay. Withdraw.
Madam Chair, now.
Thank you all.
Oh. Madam Chair, I do see that you have two calls or links here. I'm wondering if you are on the phone as well as the computer, if we could try to cut one of those off. Because I'm having trouble hearing you at all. It's very garbled.
Okay.
So do I.
I'm just thinking about it. Somebody else wants to do it. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'll read the next case. Calendar 21-19 at 3211 Scranton Road. Eric Lutzko, owner, proposes to construct a 1,499 square foot, two-story addition to a C1 multifamily residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the sections of the Cleveland Codified Coordinates found in a public document and on today's agenda. Will everyone for this case kindly raise your right hand, read the statement. Your response is I do with your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do, Elaine Echols.
I do, Donna Gregonis.
I do, Eric Lutzo.
I do, Mike McGetrick.
Anyone else? Hearing none, on to history.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. There's been no change in the zoning on this property since 1929. In the records room, it's found that in 1924, a permit was issued to erect a new garage on the property. In 1930, a permit was issued to erect an addition and a front porch. 1931, a permit was issued to repair fire loss. And there are no variances on file, and then there's nothing of note in the more recent history. That's all that I have.
Thank you very much. The legal standard will be judging the case on, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting area variances from the rear yard, side yard, maximum gross floor area, and corner lot side street building line requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much, Ms. West. Mr. Lutzo?
Yes, I'm here, Madam Chairwoman.
Tell us what you'd like to do.
Thank you for your time this morning. My name is Eric Lutzo. I do live here at 3211 Scranton Road, and I have lived here for almost 20 years. I purchased the home back in 2001, and I have been restoring it over that time to kind of bring back its greatness, the beautiful Victorian that it is, the folk Victorian. The one thing that I haven't addressed is the original garage, but it is one of the reasons that I initially bought the property, because of the extra storage for my business, which I own real estate in the area. I live and work in the same neighborhood. And so I like the extra storage. I actually have 3 vehicles, a work truck, and then 2 other cars. As you can see from these existing conditions photos, there's the side corner lot in the upper left of the corner, and the second picture over is the 4-car garage, which it shows it's right on the property line. It's been there, like the case says, since the 1930s or earlier. And what I'd like to do is just enhance this. If we could go to the next slide. So that's the whole property. Next slide, please. Next slide. So this is the site plan that we have submitted to the city. as well as to the Block Club and Tremont West Economic Development. We had our Block Club meeting on February 23rd, and we went to Economic Development for Tremont West on March 4th. We shared this plan with them as well as the elevations on, I believe it might be the next slide. And it just shows the addition of the addition adding on to the house, enhancing the existing home. What this does for me is it expands the kitchen and it gives me a mud room so that I don't walk directly into the house like I currently do. And then we have the 3-car garage as it stands. We are not taking any additional square footage of the current garage. We're not stepping outside of any of those current guidelines or walls. In fact, we're keeping the same back wall. And we're just filling in between the house and the garage. I need to note also that Mike McGetrick, the architect, is on the call here today for any technical questions that may be asked.
The back end of the house looks like another garage, but you're saying that's not.
It's not. Are you looking at an existing picture or a current picture?
I'm looking at the rendering for the elevation.
So yeah, so what we've done is we've added from the back of the house. We've added from the back of the house where my current back porch is, and we're making my kitchen bigger. And then where the mudroom is that first. I don't know. Can you see can you see that? That's the mudroom. So that's where the first bay on the old garage was. And then the two doors are where the 3 cars would go.
Okay. So how is
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It was a joke. I said, how do you sweep all the mud out? Never mind. Okay, who's else is on the call, Tim? I turned my computer on and went back on it. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. Who else is the council? Have we heard from her? Liz?
No, Madam Chair, I have not received a letter from her, but I did receive other letters that should be part of the PowerPoint. I believe we received something from Tremont West.
Okay. Kyle?
We have 2 people with their hands raised. The first is Mike, and the second is Donna Gorgonis.
Okay, Mike.
Yes, hi, I'm Mike McGetrick, the architect for Eric Lutzo. And I would just like to point out in the zoning code 355.04B that the maximum lot coverage cannot be more than the existing square footage of the lot. And I believe when this was written, the author did not take out you're putting back basically the same size garage, so he added what we were adding to basically what the lot coverage is, not subtracting the existing garage. So our actual lot coverage is 3140, not 3884. I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so that should be 3140. If you're not speaking, could you please mute your microphone? Okay, who else is going to speak on this case?
I'll mute my.
Was Donna going to speak?
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Donna Gorgonis with Tremont West Development Corporation and Ohio City Incorporated. So this went before the Metro North Block Club, and they also submitted a letter of support for this project. So they're in favor of this proposed development. And additionally, the Tremont West Development Corporation's Economic Development Committee is in support of this as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Madam Chair, this is Liz again. There are 5 support letters, one from Becca Riker from 3196 Scranton Road, one from Alyssa Lang and David Lynn, and one from Sandra Smith. I believe she might be the Block Club representative. And one from Adam and Lauren Gall supporting it, and one from Mike Roman, as well as one from Cassandra Linder. That's all that I have.
Madam Chair, this is Kelly. Do the one resident that was on the wrong case, I believe they're here for this one, so I don't know if the gentleman's concerns have been addressed from hearing what this project is or not. So I just want to make sure that gets covered before we move forward.
Thank you, Kelly. And who is the woman that?
Hi.
Who?
Yes, it's
Okay, Elaine.
yeah. The way that the drawings were shown, the back of the house butts directly, if not onto the property on Holmden, and everything that's on that roof, that's in that back area, would fall right onto the neighbor's property. Driveway, I'm sorry, yeah.
I don't see how.
Kyle, could you go back to the photo? So, Madam Chair, they are going, they're putting an addition on top of the footprint
Right.
of this garage here.
Right.
So it'll be 2 stories.
So it's an existing footprint, so it's can't really change it. Well, he can, but he's using the existing footprint.
Did you hear that, Bobby? They're using the existing footprint.
Yeah, they're not moving anything. Okay, have we cleared that?
Bobby, are you clear? Yes, he's clear. So there's no additional creeping on here. What about the garage and the way that it slopes? I think that's the biggest issue. Or is that something that cannot be addressed? Because literally the way that it looks is that the garage will now, rather than sloping front to back, is going to slope side to side so that all of the snow now falls onto that driveway over here. That's what he's seeing. Is he seeing it incorrectly? And is there anything that can be done about that?
Kyle, can you go back? Please. I want to see the pictures.
I'm sorry, Carol, the picture of.
Yeah, the elevation.
Okay.
Okay. I see what she's saying. Oh boy. Is the architect request?
I had my hand raised.
Oh, okay.
So, that's a good question. So that section of roof that you see on this east elevation, the slide that is up right now, section of roof is 229 square feet, and it's a small portion of that smaller gable that you see on the south elevation, far right of the drawing. I think there are gutters going to be installed and will be then run to boots that will then run to storm sewers. So water control will be done. Regarding snow, I think this happened. There's also snow that off of the owner's house that would fall onto their driveway. I don't see a landslide snow coming down, but I think we could put those snow breakers up there that will prevent anything of that nature happening. I don't. If I would, Eric, would that be an issue to you?
Bobby, if they put snow breakers up there to mitigate that, would that be enough for you?
They're metal bars that alleviate giant.
Okay, yeah, because I don't want to interrupt you, but even today, without that elevation at all, there is a problem today. So any additional snow, any additional runoff is going to create an even bigger problem. And he is disabled, and getting in and out with his van is very important, because he enters and exits from the rear of his home.
Understood. I think these snow breakers that we would put on the roof definitely stop that. It would hold the snow and allow the snow to melt, and then that melt would then basically become like what rained on the roof, and would then allow the gutters to work properly. The water would then go into the gutter, the giant, massive snow coming down. I would like.
You are breaking up. It is very hard for me to understand what you are saying.
I apologize. I feel that the snow breaker would hold the snow, allow it to melt, and not have that giant, as you say, avalanche of snow coming down, because we would not want the occupant of that home to be prevented from getting in and out of the driveway, seeing that he's disabled. I think that Eric, are you still on the line, Eric?
I am still on the line.
Does have his hand raised.
Have you heard their concerns?
I have, and I'll be honest, I've had a very good relationship with Bobby since I bought the house. Bobby was here before me, and we've worked in the yards together. We've talked. I know about Bobby's disability. I see him come and go. I know the neighbors who helped him shovel the driveway. This is the first I've heard that there's actually a concern about snow from my property on his property, as according to Elaine, if I understand that correctly, that there's a permit issue. I actually think that this renovation, again, keeping on the same line, I haven't seen any home in the neighborhood where the snow falls off the roof. Like it's gonna be insulated. It'll melt off. It'll hit the gutter. It'll go in the downspout and it'll go away. I am happy to put the roof brakes on there if that'll eliminate that. But I have heard nothing, and I live right next to Bobby. I care for Bobby as a neighbor. I appreciate him all these years, all 20 years that I've been here, and I don't know of any other concerns that he's had. I told Bobby about this project back in August of last year before I started the renderings. I asked him if he'd like to be an active part in looking at what I'm doing. This is the first I've heard that he's had any concern, but I'm happy to address it by putting those brakes on there to potentially resolve any effort of a major snowfall going off the roof.
As long as we know those breakers are going to go on and there's no way not to have that happen, where they somehow get eliminated or don't happen, then I am okay. But that is the biggest concern, is the change of the slope in the roof, and just for that property having it just come right down onto the driveway, because there is not enough room for anything to come off of that house. I mean, anything coming off of that roof is going to land in that driveway.
Madam Chair?
Yes, go ahead, Jim.
In listening to the debate here, it seems like the issue is centered on snow. And certainly, Mr. Lutzko has a big pad of area that needs to be cleaned when there's a heavy snowfall. And where that ends up could either help or hinder his neighbor. So maybe what we need here is it's just a good neighbor kind of relationship. And when he's cleaning the snow in front of his 4 garages, he takes the extra time to also look to help his next door neighbor with any snow issues he has.
We're not looking to impede on anyone else's ability to clear their land and put snow where it needs to go. We're just not wanting to, be the recipient of something coming off the roof or anything like that. And I mean, if it's going to be storage, there's not going to be anyone living there. We're not looking for additional, cars parked all over the place and that kind of thing. We're fine, because this elevation doesn't appear to be a second apartment or anything like that. So we're fine. But it was the roof line that was the issue. And if that's going to be resolved by the braces, we're good. Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair. Seems like this has been settled.
Yes, it does to me too. Moving right along, unless the board has any comments, questions, concerns, then I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, did we hear from city planning and all though yet?
Oh, sorry. Kyle?
Kyle Reese, City Planning. Glad to hear that the neighbors resolved the issue with the roof and the snow. City Planning did review this at our meeting. We have no objections to the requested variances.
All right, Madam Chair, with that being said, with support from the CDC, City Planning, as well as the immediate adjacent neighbor, I move that we approve the variances as requested for calendar number 21-019, noting that the appellant has agreed to a little extra fortification on the roof line to ensure least amount of fall on the neighbor's yard.
Second.
Call the roll.
Yes.
Mr. Donovan,
Yes.
Ms. Britt,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 21-019 is granted conditionally. It'll be ratified next week and we will send you a letter.
Calendar 21-20, 3015 Chatham Avenue. Scott Francis, owner, proposed to build a 2-story, 35-foot by 22-foot wood frame garage with second floor storage on a 4,791 square foot lot in a B1 2-family residential district. The owner appeals from a strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinance as shown in the public record and on today's agenda.
Thank you very much.
For all those who are going to give testimony in this case, kindly raise your right hand. I will read a statement, at the end of which I'm looking for a response. It says, "I do," followed by your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
I do.
Nobody ever gets the instructions right.
I do.
And then your name.
I do, Paul Deegan.
And
Thank you,
Amy
Paul.
Farmer.
All right. Anyone
I
else?
do, Donna Gregonis.
Okay, anyone else? Hearing none, on to history.
Liz, the history.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the records room, I found a permit was issued in 1938 to enlarge a basement. In 1981, a permit was issued to correct fire damage to a garage. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. The legal standard, please, Ms. Wagner.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting area variances from the accessory building height and maximum square footage requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Thank you very much. Is the owner, Scott Francis, been sworn in? Is he here? Are they here?
Scott is not here. This is Paul Began, architect for the project.
Yeah, Paul, are you representing the owner?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have a letter, I'm sure, notarized that you could represent them.
Yes, you do.
Make sure it gets to the office, to Liz. Okay, now tell us exactly what they'd like to do.
Yes, and I don't know if you have the documentation that we had submitted with the project. That's probably the clearest way to. Here we go. This is what the best slide to take a look at there, Madam Chair. What the owner is requesting to do is to build a new garage in this property. If you look at the picture there at the bottom, kind of middle there, previously there was a large barn-ish type building that basically went from property line to property line back there. Obviously, the condition of that building was such that it couldn't barely hold itself up any longer. So the owner has demolished that structure and plans to build a new garage, three-car garage in its place with setbacks that are more in line with what is appropriate for today. Again, because of the small lot size for this particular, in this area of Ohio City here, that's what's going to puts us over the area requirements. Although we are more generous because the property does get a little bit wider in the back. It's not straight shot, that we are able to actually have some wider setbacks from the side property lines for this.
Madam Chair, there's a note in the chat from Mr. Riccardi, the city zoning administrator. The variance number 2 should be amended in that where 650 should be 800 for permissible size of garage. So basically, I think the adjudication says 650. It should say 800 is what's permissible. So there's still a variance required, though.
Okay. Thanks, Kyle. All right. Who else has been sworn in? We have Amy.
I have no comment at this time.
Okay, we have Donna.
Good morning again. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board again. So this went club in, I'll get my exact notes, but they were in support of the 17 neighbors voted on this and they didn't have any issue with this. And we're appreciative of the investment that the owner is making in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Was there one other person sworn in? Another gentleman that was there with Amy.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah, Paul Began, the architect. I'm here with me.
All right, I heard from you already. Anybody else? We didn't hear from Carrie McCormick, did we, Liz?
You know what? Kyle, do you have anything in the PowerPoint? I sent Maurice some letters. Let me grab that.
We have a letter of objection from Joel Zis.
I don't see a letter from the councilman. Let me check my email.
I'm looking at the objection or support from Julia Seek, south of Lorraine Block Club. A lot
Madam
of
Chair,
things.
I believe
Yes.
that's for a different case.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
never mind.
Madam Chair, this is Kelly. Barring any resistance that Liz is finding, first I want to say welcome to Garage Day at PZA. So I just wanted to know if city planning wanted to, chime in while Liz was looking for any letter.
Thank you, Kyle Reese from City Planning. We did review this at our meeting. We have no objections to the additional garage space. I do want to note and echo the architect that the setbacks here being proposed for the new building are larger than the setbacks for the prior building. So it is more in conformance with the code than the prior building. So we don't have any objections to the requested variances.
Thank you.
And so, Madam Chair, I didn't find any letter from the councilman, but that letter from Julia Seek includes the calendar number 2120 as well as 2124. So they sent us a support letter with both calendar numbers on it. And we're talking about 315 Chatham, right?
Yes.
So that's in that letter as well. So there's a support from the Lorraine Block Club. And then to the left is the objection letter.
Yes. Okay, he's objecting to the height. Oh my God, this is hard to read. Garage height.
He's concerned about his view. Would hinder his view from the southeastern horizon.
No guarantees.
It seems like he also wants some green space on the property. Concerned about the trees and the bushes and other things to help reduce carbon emissions. Also, Madam Chair, I have support letters from Julie R. Iodine at, Idioin at 2173 West 32nd Street. Support letter from Timothy Del Papa. He's, I don't see his address. Kate Kelly and Matthew Kirk from 3200 Monroe Avenue, and Bruce Henderson. And he lives at 2135 West 30th Street. Those are support letters that we have.
Any other comments, board?
No.
I'll entertain a motion.
Hit it, Hal.
Madam Chair, given the testimony and support from the CDC, city planning, as well as adjacent neighbors, I move that we approve the variances as requested, calendar number 21-020.
Second,
Call the roll.
Mr. Donovan,
yes.
Ms. Britt,
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 21-20 is granted. It'll be ratified next week and we will send you a letter.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and the rest of the board and Ms. Kukla. We will be joining you back again for 2283 West 30th.
Whatever. City of Cleveland owner and Magnet. prospective purchase proposed to renovate and use a school building as offices and engineering facilities in a B1 two-family residential district and a C1 multi-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from strict application of the following sections of the Cleveland Codified Ordinance as listed in the agenda in the public. This is calendar number 21-023 at 1800 East 63rd Street. Will everyone, for this case, raise your right hand. I'm going to make a statement. Your response is I do with your name. Here we go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. Ethan Karp.
I do. Mark Olson.
I do. Mark Benton.
I do. Bill Boron.
Anyone else? I want to congratulate you. You're the best group of people ever to do the I do test. Out to history.
Mr. Donovan, there was a Holly Delasanti who also
Okay,
is present.
let's add them. Sure.
History of the property.
I believe Lee Chilcote is also on. I didn't hear him.
Okay, Lee, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I think you're muted, Lee, if you are.
All right, are we done here?
Anybody go square I do? I'll mute it if you are. Hello?
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. I couldn't unmute. I apologize.
And your name is?
Lee Chilcote.
Okay, Lee.
Last call. Okay, on the history.
Okay, legal standard. We judging the case then?
Oh, you want the history first, right, Madam Chair?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the Building and Housing Records Room, I found that a permit was issued in 1961 to erect a 1- and 2-story school. In 1969, a permit was issued to erect a swimming pool. There are no variances on file and nothing of note in the more recent history. That's all that I have.
Okay, now I'll have the legal standard.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting a use variance and permission to continue non-conforming landscaping. Although, as a result of the staff meeting we had after I wrote these instructions, I understand that there may be intending to have conforming landscaping, but nonetheless, it's here. They do need the use variance. To obtain use variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will result in an unnecessary hardship, particularly to the property, such there will be no economically feasible use of the property without the variance, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Section 35207B2 of the zoning code provides that following a change of use, the board shall require full or partial compliance with landscaping requirements. If such compliance would not require acquisition of other land, full or partial removal of a sound major structure or structures, or creation of other circumstances that would produce undue hardships or practical difficulties.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wagner. Okay, who's going to be the spokesperson for Magnet?
Hi, well, this is Mark Olson.
Okay, Mr. Wilson?
Olson, sorry.
Okay, Wilson.
Yeah, first, I just want to thank Madam Chair and the board for hearing our presentation. We have submitted landscape drawings that actually show compliance to landscape requirements with the 6-foot buffer and planting density that were required. And I believe that the board was in receipt of those and have accepted them as being compliant. The second is our request for acceptance of a conditional use for a charitable institution. Magnet is a 501c3 that services Northeast Ohio's manufacturing industry, as well as the City of Cleveland School District, as part of this project that we'll discuss in a little bit. As you can see, this is the Ireland School that has been vacant for several years. And we can go to the next slide. Located on East 63rd Street and Olive Court. You can see the location on the site. If you go to the next slide. This is the existing school, green space, and parking lot that we're going to be upgrading. Next. This is an existing photo seen from Chester Ave of the Ireland School. Next photo. Adjacent residential multifamily rear parking lot space, and the community building across the street. Next. Just it. So you can see on the site plan, the existing building footprint is remaining the same, and the parking lot is being resurfaced. There's an additional curb cut that's being added to East 59th Street. And the next slide will show the compliant 6-foot landscape buffer between the parking lot and the adjacent property, along with the density and the landscape ordinance components shown below. Next slide. Elevations of the proposed building. Basically upgrading the window fenestrations, coping, and then we're raising the roof on a small section shown on the east elevation of what was 1 story to match the existing elevation of the 2-story school wing. In discussion of our request for approval of conditional use, I just want to go through a description of the uses on this space. I know it's identified as an engineering facility, and that really is not a complete description of the space. If I start from left to right, looking at the floor plan, the gray area is actually going to be classroom space dedicated to the CMFD and manufacturing supported program. When we look just to the right or to the east of that space is the main entry, and this contains a wonderful museum to the manufacturing success of Northeast Ohio, and then supporting the conferencing center off of that. And then the green is the manufacturing space that supports both education and research and development. Magnet is an organization that doesn't produce widgets, but they help manufacturers make their process and product better. And they are a non-profit, as I mentioned earlier.
Madam Chair?
Yes.
This is all very interesting, but I have an appointment that I will have to leave. So if we could concentrate on just the issues that need the approval as a variance, it would serve everyone.
Okay. My question is, I don't know what you're engineering, to be honest with you. Either I don't understand it, I didn't hear correctly, or just quickly, 2 sentences. Tell me exactly what you're producing.
Ethan, why don't you speak to?
Yeah, so Ethan Karp, I'm the CEO of Magnet. So as a nonprofit, our goal in life is to go into small manufacturers, help them think of their new products that they might make, while simultaneously bringing the community together to help get people into those jobs so that those manufacturers can make what they need to make. So our engineers, who in addition to all of these education purposes, our engineers are in this building making, prototypes. So the first product in concert with a manufacturer. And we're using that same facility then to show it to kids who might be at CMSD, show them what modern manufacturing is. So we don't ever produce mass numbers of products. We produce the one that then the manufacturer can use and say, all right, I'm going to make this and sell it and grow and strengthen the economy.
Thank you. That can help me a little bit. Okay, I'd like to hear from Holly. Holly,
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, tell us your comments.
We took a tour of their existing facility and support this endeavor.
But how do we get around the fact that it's not allowed in a two-family residential district or a multifamily district?
Madam Chair, may I speak to this? My name's Lee Chilcote.
Yes, Lee.
Under section 33702, there is expressly permitted charitable institutional use, and Magnet fits that requirement, subject only to there being adequate yard space and other safeguards to produce the character of the neighborhood. Everything we've done, everything Mr. Olson has done in the plans addresses protecting the neighborhood and providing adequate safeguards. And as has already been said, the use of the premises is to further an advanced manufacturing interest. There is no direct manufacturing in the property. It's a charitable use. It's for the benefit of the community, not only students, but manufacturers and the public. It will create wonderful jobs for the community. So I want to just orient it towards what the statute provides. It expressly permits this use, subject only to making sure that the yard requirements are adequate to protect the neighborhood and the other provisions. That's what it says.
Thank you. Liz, did we get a letter from Councilman Jones?
Yes, you have a letter from the councilman.
Yes, we received a letter that should be part of the PowerPoint as well. A letter from CMSD, the councilman, and Cleveland Foundation.
Okay, and they're all in support, correct?
Right, yes.
I'm trying to facilitate so that Tim can leave. There are no objections then. I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, given that testimony, it seems like overwhelming support from everyone, including the councilman, Cleveland Foundation. So I move. Did we hear from city planning before I say that?
Okay. Kyle?
I believe we have Kim Scott, the planner for the area, on the call. You guys are joined.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair. And as you all know, that this project has full support, and I don't think that there are any objections, but city planning is very much in support of this project. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Kim. All right, so I'll finish my motion and add that, and that includes city planning. So I move we approve the variances as requested for calendar number 21-0.
Second.
Call the roll.
Mr. Donovan.
Yeah.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 21-23 is granted based upon that revised final site plan showing that the landscaping will be met, and it'll be ratified next week, and we will send you a letter.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Calendar 23 S023 at 1800 East 63rd Street. Oh, wait a minute. Let me just.
We're at 24.
Okay. Got a 21-024 at 2283 West 30th Street. We got Elmhurst Homes. Owner proposes to install air conditioning condenser unit in the front yard of a B1 two-family residential district. Appeals relief from the strict application of the section 357.13 subsection B. It states that air conditioner condenser unit is not a permitted front yard encroachment. February 17, 2021. anyone for this case that's going to give testimony? Kindly raise your right hand. I will read the statement. Looking for a response of I do with your name. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Name?
Steve Goldberg.
I do. Amy Armour.
Thank you.
I
Anyone
do.
else?
I do, Donna Grigonis.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thank you very much, Tim.
You're welcome.
Okay, history of the property.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In the Building and Housing Records Room, I found a permit was issued in 1962 stating that the the authorized use of the property is as 6 suites. There's no variance on file in our office, and in the more recent history, we found that in 2019, a permit was issued to construct a single-family residence with an attached garage, and that's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. The legal standard will be judging it on, what, Ms. Wagner?
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the front yard encroachment requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and the granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
None.
Thank you. Who's going to be the spokesperson for all of this?
I will. My name.
And you are who?
My name is Steve Goldberg. I build for Larry Apple, who cannot be here today, from Elmhurst Homes. I'm his builder.
Okay. Why can't we install this air conditioner condenser unit someplace other than the front yard?
Well, because it's a corner lot, which was granted through the land bank. They're difficult to build on, and we have the attached garage, and we don't have room on the back property line that's just normal, because that's where the garage is. We only have 3 feet, so we can't get it in there.
City planning.
City planning, this is Kyle Reese. We did review this at our meeting. We do agree that the property is it'd be pretty difficult to get this air conditioner unit anywhere else. I believe there's a commitment from the developer to landscape or otherwise screen the unit from the sidewalk, and so as long as that's the case, we have no objections.
Okay. Anybody else need to speak? If not, we're going to go right ahead.
I think we had the CDC. Donna.
Oh, Donna Grigonis.
Good morning again. Thank you. Donna Grigonis with Ohio City Incorporated and Tremont West Development Corporations. So we did not review this. We never saw the plans. I'm just seeing them now, but we did receive a note from the block club stating that there was only one person that was opposed out of 17 and the rest were in support of the variance. It is concerning that it would be on the front, but as long as they can screen it properly with plantings, that would be amenable to the neighborhood, it sounds like. So thank you.
Thank you all. Any other comments or questions? Oh, Amy,
Nope.
Okay. I'll let her Ms. Kelly.
Madam Chair, I agree with city planning. It really seems there's no other place to put this condensed. And as long as it's properly screened, I move that we approve the variance as requested for calendar 21-024.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Donovan.
Yes.
Ms. Britt.
Yes.
Ms. Johnson.
Yes.
Calendar 21-24 is granted conditionally. It'll be ratified next week, and we will send you a letter.
Okay. All business 1 through 5 without objection.
Without objection.
Okay. I wanted to get that in before Tim scooted off. Are we having any discussion on the planning of Fremont area, Kenilworth use? Yes, no?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Are we supposed to have a conversation about this, all this Kenilworth and all this?
No, Madam Chair, it's just informational, so that you have it, you can look at it at your leisure before the next hearing.
Yeah, this is Lori. It would not be appropriate for the board to discuss that since it's not on the agenda today.
Thank you. Bye all.
All right,
Okay.
have a good week.
You too. Thank you all.
Good job, Kyle.
Stay well.
Bye, Kyle.
Thank you.